Hello and happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Racing Insiders podcast. I think this is show number maybe like 121.
Oh, wow.
Something crazy. Yeah, I'm going to have to look it up right now.
Stupid amount of shows.
I know. It's really unreal. I guess when we've been doing it for as long as we've been doing it, they just kind of add up. You know, you do like 50 shows a week or something. I mean, I guess I could look on my iTunes.
Well, we're not doing 50 shows a week.
A year, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, like just 50 shows a year. Because if you do it, you know, once a week, and then you kind of skip a couple or something, so it can happen. But I'm curious now. So anyway, I'm looking it up. Oh yeah, this is episode 121.
There you go.
So episode 121. Welcome. It is August 1st. 2022.
121 episodes of us talking crap.
That's pretty much it. I would agree with you there. Absolutely agree. Of course, I'm Kate Dillon from Crate Insider, and this is Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines. And mostly each week, we show up here we go Facebook Live and YouTube Live, actually at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Anyone who listens to the podcast afterwards, like on iTunes or Google Play, if you want to catch us live, just tune in on 7 p.m. Eastern on Mondays on the Crate Insider channels.
Yep.
So Steve, how was your week?
Good.
Great. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Sometimes you're grumpy, but you're not grumpy today.
Oh, I was grumpy today earlier.
Oh, were you? Because I haven't really spent any time with you today. So
yeah, no, I had a 604 head that brand new from GM that somebody at the factory had got in and ground with a ground on in the intake ports with a burr. So yeah, that head's got to get replaced now.
Wow, it's like we don't even have time for that.
Well, it's a bad situation because I mean, if that's in a tech shed, even if it's a factory sealed engine. I mean, my God, that'd cause all sorts of hate and discontent.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And what do you say? You know, I mean, if you're the guy, you know, no, these are like literally factory bolts. You know, I didn't touch it, but You're not going to be believed. And Scott's here from California. Says hi from still on fire, California. Wow, I saw it was like 50,000 plus acres were on fire in Northern California. And Pippi wants to be on the podcast today.
He's raising hell.
He is. I don't even know what he's raising hell about. Though I did find a dead cicada. So he's...
Well, he had it where he wanted it probably, and you removed it.
Probably did. Pippi likes to kill things. So.
He's an expert.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
What are we doing over there? No, we are not going to use the door frame as a scratching post.
Oh.
My goodness, Pippi's being bad. And sorry, I don't have a Pippi cam. I need the Pippi cam. I need to put like a GoPro on Pippi.
I'll put a GoPro on him, see where he goes every day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that could be fun. I mean, GoPros don't last that long.
Well, true.
Well, we do have some exciting news that we have a winner from our event for July, and that was our whole valve spring changing type of package, our giveaway package. And
it wasn't me, I assume.
No, you didn't win. Because you didn't win. But congratulations, Anthony Tellman, on winning the Crate Insider July giveaway. So I'm putting that up on the screen because you kept asking me in June, and so that Tori did the random number generator thing, and
that's your winner.
Yep, cool. That was our winner. Contacted him today, so his prize is already on a UPS truck somewhere on its way to him. And we weren't, at least I should say my part of the we was not very creative today to try to come up with what the August giveaway is. So what we're doing is, and I don't have the image here, but $400 in Crate Insider cash. In other words, store credit. And plus you'll get a t-shirt and a hat and a couple of koozies. So kind of whatever you want to spend $400 on. It's not hard.
It's not very difficult.
It's not hard to do, but
$400. I mean,
yeah. I mean, that's a couple.
Buy a $2,000 set of headers. You're looking at $1,600 now.
Which
is what they were, 5 years ago. So
yeah, so it's going to help somebody out, and all you need to do to win their giveaway is just go to CrateInsider.com, click on the giveaway tab, and enter your email address and your name, and you'll be entered into our giveaway. And then what we do at the end of the month is we see how many people have signed up. So even if you're on our list already, we want to make sure each month that our giveaway is something that a person would actually want. So let's say we're giving away a dirt late model nose and you've got a modified. Well, you don't actually want that prize, so you may not want to enter the giveaway that month, and vice versa.
Right.
So we want to make sure the people
monthly giveaway, monthly entry.
Correct. Yes. Exactly. So that's what we want to make sure of. But then what we do is however many people are listed, like we know what that number is, random number generator, and then go through that list, and whatever number is picked, then that's the person, and then we contact that person. So, fake email address isn't going to help you either. Just saying, and yes, you're going to get emails from us, but we don't have time to spam anybody. We got enough other shit to do to spam people. We don't have time for that. All right. So we've got some more comments here. And Mikey says, hey, we may be attending Racelogic in January. Well, that's really exciting. I can give you a little kind of a pre-promotional information here. If you are an IMCA stock car driver, then what's really exciting is we are doing with Racelogic. Racelogic is holding a class January 21st and 22nd with Damon and Dallin Murdy, they're really famous in the IMCA world. And we're going to be at Dave Hammond's shop. Oh, cool. So Hammond Motorsports there in DeWitt, Iowa. We'll also have Ben Baker from AFCO and Longacre. And of course, Wade Cross from FX Suspension talking about shocks. Mm-hmm. So getting really excited about that. So putting that out there. I know Brian will be announcing on the Racelogic pages.
Looks like Iowa's going to exist for a day.
It will. Well, yeah. I'm going to have to go early so Dave and I can shoot some videos or something. So I think he'd like that. And Edward is here. He says hi from Antioch, California. Absolutely.
Old stomping grounds there.
Yeah. And let's see. We got it from Shane Yarborough. It says just a quick testimony to Daytona 1 rear end dope. I mean, I don't know, dope, but raced a couple of weeks ago on Friday night. We had to change the gear Saturday to go to a different track, and someone didn't put the dope back in. And we're talking about 30-60 gear oil, I'm sure we're talking about. He says, ran the whole race with no dope and found out about it Sunday and didn't have a drop of dope in it, and it didn't even scratch it at all.
Well,
that's one hell of a testimonial right there, Shane.
Pretty damn impressive.
Yes, yes.
Rear end should have been laying all over the ground.
It really should have been.
Anything else in there, it would have been.
Honestly.
Oh,
yeah, it would have come apart. So that's going to be the Daytona 1 30-60 gear oil.
Yeah, they also make the 75 90 as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Same additive package, just different weight.
Yeah. I sent out a few gallons of that today.
Yep.
And but yeah, I mean, Shane, that's incredible. Obviously, nobody would do that on purpose. I mean, I know that Buck has done some experiments over the years. Buck from Daytona 1. Right. One was where they were in a plane and they dropped out all the oil. While they're in the air.
Yeah, that was his first company before.
Yes. Yeah. So he's done some crazy stuff, and he wouldn't have suggested this, but I will look forward to
drop the oil out of the engine while flying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's that's next level right there. That is brave. That is confidence.
It's
confidence.
Very much so.
Yep. All right. Brandon is here. He says, how much more power are you seeing out of the 604 over the 602 on the dyno?
Horsepower wise, you're going to see, I mean, it depends on the application, but like in a dirt late model, for instance, you'll see, 360, 365 at the tires on a 602. Most 604s, you're looking 420 to 430 range. Again, different variables, what fuel you've got and everything else. But if you're comparing as close as possible, that's usually what you'll see. Yeah. Torque wise, E85 dirt late model again, you're looking 420 to 430 range torque wise on average on a 604, and on a 602 you're looking same fuel E85, you're looking 400 to 420 range is about the highest I think I've seen.
Good to know. And Brandon says, do you still do the Tuesday show? No, I have not done the Tuesday show in a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of got redundant, and I've been doing it for, I started it in 2018. I mean, I think it was 4 solid years of doing the show. And yeah, although you did suggest to me the other day, I should do a top 5 Tuesday of our top 5 products of all time because
You can do that. Yeah,
we were
that'd be
curious,
awesome.
or maybe once a month or
I don't
something.
want anybody reporting me to the Department of Redundancy Department.
Exactly. Yes, you heard me talk about that. When I worked for a project manager, that's what the sign said on his door.
Mm-hmm.
Department of Redundancy Department. Just said that a second time in case someone's catching up here. All right, Glenn says practice just got done at North Wilkesboro Speedway. That's exciting. I know they're doing a lot of exciting stuff up there at North Wilkesboro this year. They're doing, I think, asphalt first. I think it's asphalt first, and then they're going to put dirt on it and do all kinds of dirt things.
I don't know. I've heard different things. I think what they were doing was taking the asphalt out, putting dirt on it, and then, go down to the dirt, and then I think they were going to repave it. Is what I understood. I may be completely wrong.
I wasn't sure. I just know that there's 1 month of the month of August is one thing, and then the month of October is the other thing.
Another thing.
Right. And because I was actually invited to see if we wanted to have a booth up there during some of these races. And, I would love to. I need to tell Dave Shea that, I would love to be a part of that, but I just literally I can't be away.
No.
I mean, I've got to be here. If I had a bigger team or something, maybe we could do something like that. But yeah. All right. Brendan says, do you guys post Australia? Cheers. P.S. Love the info and advice. Sometimes. Sometimes is kind of the answer. Like there are certain things I absolutely cannot send to Australia. I cannot send any lithium batteries. I would be very hesitant to send anything that's liquid. I have a hard enough time domestically sending liquids.
Yeah, I mean,
but some of the harder parts, then the website set up that I will take orders from Australia.
I've just found that it's really cost prohibitive. Freight wise right now it is. It's just absolutely ridiculous. My ex-wife's stepdad, he had a Camaro, and he got rear-ended or something, and I priced a bumper cover for him, and over here in the States, bumper cover is like $350 for like a 2018 Camaro, and shipping over there was almost $4,000. So I mean, that was out. He decided to wait the 8 months it was going to take to get the bumper cover at a more reasonable price on his end. I mean, he couldn't beat the price of the cover, but the shipping just killed obviously everything.
Well, and for a while you couldn't send any USPS stuff. United States Postal Service. Like I had a package going over there, and it made its way to Miami, and then it went to California before it came back. They said, Australia is not taking any American packages right now.
Apparently they don't want the COVID shipped over there or something.
I guess. I don't even know. And anyway, Glenn said yes. Oh, here. And he was agreeing. And then John's got some great information. He says August is asphalt, then ripping it up and race dirt cars in October. Then after that, repaving for 2023, I believe.
I think that's what I'd heard. Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, and William Glass is here saying they were doing a dirt race before repaving. I mean, I think it's great. Obviously, Bristol was a great success with a totally different kind of concept. I mean, they're not repaving or anything, but dirt on Bristol, that was really exciting for sure. And I like to see the innovation. It's just too many. I mean, it's just gone too much, or all of weekends and all that. Yes, I certainly will.
I am thirsty today.
It wasn't even that hot. I didn't even sweat my own sweat today. Yeah. So anybody who's a dodgeball fan, just
breathe my own blood.
Yes, that's exactly the line. So we always have a joke about like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. I sweat my own sweat. Yes. I do have a question that came through on email that I will read to you, Steve. Because this is an interesting question, and I just saw it like right before I left the office. I say that, and then I don't even have it up. What a slacker. What a slacker. It's in here. I don't think it was that one. No. I get kind of a lot of emails every day. Every day. It was about carb spacers.
Like you said, you had it.
I did have it. I just didn't have it up. I just didn't.
Remember what it was?
Yeah, it was about carb spacers. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I thought it was towards the top. Says, hello, we are inquiring about which HVH spacer you would recommend for a 604 running Rush 91, and they're between the SS 4150 1DPAL. That's that one that goes inside the intake manifold.
Mm-hmm.
And hang on, and the SS 4150.5, the half-inch spacer. Yeah. Now, what this person's saying is, our rules had once said that the spacer couldn't drop below the intake, but this appears to no longer be the case. Any recommendations would be appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, I tested that one that goes in the intake manifold, and on that style intake manifold, that manifold doesn't like it.
On a 604?
Yeah, because it's got an extended plenum anyway on those manifolds. On something with just like an open plenum. In other words, the runners don't extend into the plenum. So something, more conventional style single plane intake, that spacer works fine, but on these it doesn't like it. So the ones that we use are the 5/8 spacer.
Oh.
So that's what the 4150 604.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and that's really interesting.
The half-inch one I've not found to be a benefit over the 5/8. 5/8 kind of best of both worlds. I mean, you pick up torque and you lose no top end power.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting
versus like a 1-inch.
Well, and I had thought that one that extended into the intake manifold, I mean, this was years ago, but they were pretty much outlawed everywhere. So that's why we stopped.
They were, yeah. No,
stopped selling them.
Every now and again, when rules get printed, there could be something that was, missed or not reprinted. But to the best of my knowledge, I don't think that thing's legal up there. But,
I would think, I mean, since it was not legal before, I kind of doubt that it's legal again.
Usually there's going to be an amendment in the rule book somewhere that says, if it's not written, don't think you can do it, kind of thing, so.
Right.
But no, it's not a benefit in that application.
Good to know. I will let this person know. I'll let them know that we're on the show and we talked about it.
Old Victor Jr. style intake or something like that. Yeah, it's definitely going to help.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, years ago, I thought it was doing a good thing.
What?
The one that went into the intake manifold, at least
on
604s.
No, on certain applications.
Okay.
What we found in our testing, which, tests may vary, but no, it was not a benefit versus that 5/8.
Good to know. Here's a question right here from Dan. Says, when did they quit making twist-off seals on 604 crates?
So the bolts, actually several years ago. So they went to
the bottle cap
style, and there's two different variations of those. The first variation, they figured out that, a kindergartner can get into them. Kind of like 1 Series seals out there, but they are 1 Racing Series seals that they promote, bottle cap deal. But the newest generation, they're much more difficult to get into. I mean, not that you couldn't. I mean, anybody can get into anything if they try hard enough. But so it's been several years.
Yeah, I know.
I don't remember the exact year. It's been a while. It's been.
Well, it's been long enough. I remember
they introduced it at PRI. Yeah,
I was going to say I remember interviewing Bill Martins and that being the topic of discussion that we talked about.
The problem with the bolts is there was too many people out there faking the bolts.
Mm-hmm.
So now, actually, most series, if the series is worth a shit, they don't allow the bolts to run.
Yeah, because they haven't been used in years. I would guess maybe 2017 or 18. That would have been. That's kind of my guess.
Probably, yeah, somewhere in that range, 16, somewhere in 16, 17. Somewhere
yeah, could be. All right, so John asks, what's the best way to cool a motor under caution if it's on the very warm side? Idle as low as you can or drop in low and rev it up?
Drop it in low, rev it up, get the fan speed built up. Because at that point, the engine is not under a load. So not under a load and high fan speed is going to cool it down quick.
Great tip there, Steve. That's a great tip. Cooling is always an issue. So with lots of people.
Yeah, I mean.
So that's a really good tip right there. William Glass says, what's going on with Matt Hendren? Haven't seen him racing anywhere. I don't know if you're talking about Matt Henderson.
I
don't know.
They've just been extremely busy. I mean, CDR is wide ass open. So,
Yep.
I mean, I think they're racing when they can get away. Because, I mean,
it's not easy.
I talked to Chip several times and Corbin and everybody else and Matt. And every time they're as busy as we are. Just insane.
Yep. And Shane says, "Oh, we ran that Scorpion intake years and years ago, and that was a good one."
Mhm.
Probably talking about that carb spacer going into the intake manifold. So that's cool. It's good to know.
Scorpion was, I think it was an intake manifold.
Well, no, we're talking about that carb spacer. So using the
Scorpion made intake manifolds, if I remember it. I don't remember.
Well, he says we ran that Scorpion intake. So yeah, that's what he said. And Gary's here. Yeah, hi Gary. Gary does a cool thing. He rents race cars for guys to be able to race cars up in the Northeast. I can't remember exactly which state, but that's pretty cool.
One of my friends does that same thing here with asphalt cars.
Mm-hmm. And these are asphalt cars.
Yeah, late models and stuff.
As well. I don't know exactly what kind.
Usually renting them to rich daddies with kids who can't drive. So.
As long as they got big checkbooks.
Big checkbooks.
And Chuck is here from Oregon. So welcome. Gosh, we're kind of covering the country. We got Australia and Oregon, California, Northeast. And Gary says Stafford Speedway in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Yep. Yeah, I knew Northeast, but I just couldn't exactly nail the state
that's
there.
Pretty cool.
So that's really cool. Yeah. I see he's got in his profile picture kind of like it's asphalt. I don't know if it's some kind of like a stock car kind of thing, like an asphalt stock car. I'm not sure what you would call them. And Paul is here, raising his hand, saying, "Hey."
Hey, Paul. What's up, bud?
Yeah. So any other questions you guys have, feel free to drop them in. And I think it's a time for a would you rather.
Okay.
So you can pick a card and I can pick a card. And so if anybody hasn't seen us do this before, these are pod decks. It's really what they're called. And meant for podcasters when they run out of things to say. So actually, it's for when you're interviewing people, make it fun.
Here, we'll do this. We'll pick 3 cards and then go 3 in a row.
Okay.
And I'm asking you the question, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm. All right. This is going to be a would you rather. All right. Do you want me to start or do you want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Would you rather wear a monitor that beeps when you're lying or beeps when you're attracted to someone?
I would have it beeps when I'm attracted to someone.
Okay. So that means you lie a lot? Or you're just horny?
No. I mean, it's kind of no to either one, really. I mean, I don't know. It'd be a good talking point. If you're attracted to somebody, you're like, beep, beep, beep. And be like, oh, I'm sorry. This goes off when I find someone that's hot.
But the bad thing is it could be like that backing up noise, truck noise or something like that,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that she'll ever lie, but, somebody says, hey, you on the phone and you could be having like the shittiest day.
All right,
so it's like, how you doing? And you're like, I'm doing great. And then it's like, beep, beep, beep,
All right. Attracted to someone.
Okay. Yep. That's my answer. All right. So yours, would you rather blow your nose with sandpaper or use bubble wrap instead of toilet paper?
Oh, bubble wrap. All day fucking long.
Bubble wrap.
I think that'd be awesome. If somebody could make bubble wrap toilet paper that had like a little bit of friction to it, I think that'd be awesome.
Oh, well, now I know where you live and I have a key.
And then you can
might be surprised.
You can pop it.
Yeah,
when you're bored in the bathroom, you can just pop it.
Oh my gosh. It's like there's that kid's toy where it kind of looks like it's an ice cube tray and it has all these little circles and the whole point is that you pop them.
I think it'd be fun.
That's hilarious. All right, let's see. We got some more questions here. Mark's here from Phoenix saying hey. And Brian saying what's up. Oh, and Gary says it's a street stock metric chassis.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is what those are. So that's cool. Jeremy wants us to play Truth or Dare. Yeah, no, this is we don't want to be a full-on not safe for work podcast.
You know what would be fun? Just like one Saturday, just like do one of these streaming podcasts and do that whole Truth or Dare thing. I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
It'd be great if we did it. Since you're in Facebook jail like once a week, we should do that on your we would do it on your personal, but you probably can't go live for 30 days.
I can't. Yeah, I still got like 57 days before I can go live.
Yeah. Wow. That's all I got. All right. Wait.
But I can like.
Oh, that's good.
Stuff.
That's good. So Mark's like, OMG, and Paul's like, that's hilarious, and Paul's like, ew. All right, we got a question here from Jody saying, I'm looking to buy some new headers for a 604 and have seen some of the header manufacturers have a 3-step header. Are there any gains on the dyno with the extra step versus a 2-step?
No, there's not. So I know the header you're talking about, and no, there's not.
Oh, okay.
I personally tried that header when it originally in my own car when it originally came out. I mean, obviously you're always looking for a better mousetrap, and at the time it dynoed well, like very well, power number wise. But it was one of those things where the dyno doesn't always tell the truth, and I went and raced that night. I mean, we dynoed that Friday, and I went and raced that night, and it was like there was an anchor out the back window of the car the whole night. So no, not a fan.
Wow, good to know. Gary would also pick bubble wrap, by the way.
Yeah.
And Shane's got a question. He says, is it legal to sleeve a 602 block?
Yes, you're allowed. I believe it's 2 sleeves at least. And there's heck, the 604 my kid runs or not currently running, but the one he had, hell, it had 2 sleeves in it. So.
The Franken motor?
Franken engine, yeah. It was built out of 4 different blown up motors.
Yep. Wow. And Brian Littleton is here from Racelogic. So Brian, we led the show talking a little bit about Racelogic and saying, did I see who he got for the IMCA stock car, Dallin and Damon Murdy? And yeah, absolutely. I actually checked out the Murdy Racing Facebook page a little bit, and obviously they win some races, so it's pretty exciting. Looking forward to meeting those guys. I think it's father son. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, it's several months away, but this is when these things get planned.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, we start early, so you can plan if you want to be coming to North Carolina. January 6th and 7th is the Cars Racing Show. So it's Carolina Auto Racing Show in Hickory, North Carolina, getting all of that organized. And then a couple weeks later is the Racelogic Chassis School, at least for the IMCA stock cars in Iowa. Somewhere in there, we got a couple of other classes somewhere in that first part of the year, and we'll figure that out. So anybody who doesn't know, it's not Racelogic is not my company, it's Brian's, but I do go and I film them. I film all those classes now. We've been doing that. So we started with our first one in 2020. He's been doing this for 27 years now. And the first one I filmed was I just did one in 2020, long before we were locked down or any of that other stuff. But ever since then, we've done them. We did 3 of them 2 or 3 in 2021, and then like 3 last year, I think, in 2020. Yep. No, it was 2 last year, but 3 the year before, something like that. Anyway, I go and film now. and actually, Brian says that the Crate late model class info is just right around the corner.
All right, cool.
So yeah, we should know that pretty soon. So yeah, if you've you're jonesing for some racing, getting involved in racing when the race season is not on, there's always something going on.
Well, I mean, I've been to the Crate late model class, and I've been to the street stock class, or
metric street stock,
metric street stock class. And I mean, hell, I learn something every time I go, honestly. I mean, I'm not even, it's just, yeah.
There's always something new to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how shit, transitions year to year, and what was hot last year might not be hot this year, that kind of thing. And, again, everybody always searching for better mousetraps, and they're actually sharing the mousetraps when you're in school, so it makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, you ready for another Would You Rather?
Yeah, is it my turn again?
Yeah, it is your turn.
To ask you. Would you rather get your hands stuck in a meat grinder or blender? That's like a bad option.
Oh my gosh, neither one. That's terrible.
You have to choose one.
Okay. I would have to say, oh my God, honestly, just like freaks me out. Anything to do with like hurting my hands. But I think the sound in the blender would be worse. So although
meat grinder, you're pretty much screwed. Blender, at least you can like rip it out of there. Meat grinder, once you're in, you're stuck.
Yeah, and then it keeps going, and it takes my whole arm. Yeah. There's just not a good choice here.
No, there's not.
Yeah, because you'd have
It's kind
it
of
would crush
That's
it.
kind of an easy question.
It's really icky. Yeah, I guess blender. But I mean,
That's what I would have gone with.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sharp and it's over. Yeah. Oh, because otherwise you're kind of being tortured. It's just faster to do with blender. All right, here's yours. Would you rather be able to record your thoughts or your dreams while you sleep?
Oh,
really?
Dreams 1,000%.
Really? I'm getting my hand crushed in a meat grinder.
I could watch my own porn.
I mean, 1,000% dreams. I mean,
good God.
Oh,
who doesn't want to relive that shit? Good thing you didn't ask me that when I was like 14. I know what I would have said.
All righty. Okay, so actually, Paul says meat grinder's fast. And so he'd say grinder, and Gary says I agree with Paul, so grinder. All right, here's a question. Edward says, can I put Daytona 1 oil treatment in my tranny and third member?
Absolutely. Yes. As a matter of fact, we tested that originally with Buck, and I even put it in my power steering pump.
The XL1 engine treatment? Wow.
I ran that stuff in everything.
You know what? I always love what Buck says, because when I can come to him a question like this.
Now, as he progressed, I mean, the treatment was the original thing.
Right, was the original product.
That treatment now, so if you buy his gear oil, his power steering fluid, his transmission oil, any of his products, that additive package is built into that product.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but I always like what Buck says. He's like, my products, they don't know where they are. They're just going to do their job. Yeah. So it's just really interesting way of looking at it. All right. What you got there? Got another one?
All right. For you. All right. Would you rather pull a tooth with a pair of pliers or brand yourself with a cattle prod?
Oh, I'm going with, I mean, as long as we're talking about not front teeth, pull tooth with the pliers.
Oh, wow.
Branding.
You gotta go for the branding.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it depends on where that's at.
I've burned myself before that shit goes away.
Yeah,
just a simple brand.
Yeah, Paul says brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to change my.
I've also pulled one of my own teeth with a pair of pliers.
Yeah, you know what? I paid a lot of money.
But I was drunk as fuck, and that tooth was fucked, and I wasn't gonna pay to go get the shit.
Okay, I'm gonna change my mind now. I'm gonna go with the brand. Yeah, I could have my scar could have a story. Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah, because I paid too much money for the teeth in my mouth now. Like not for the teeth, but getting them straightened and yeah. There's a lot of No, I'm not messing with the teeth.
I'm just gonna say there's a reason you don't pull your own fucking teeth with a pair of pliers.
Yeah,
which I literally did one time. That's not even a joke.
Gary says, "Can the brand be my company logo?"
Nice.
Nailed it, Gary. Okay, wow, my mind has totally changed now. And Paul agrees he'd get branded as well. And William says, Grayson Ott had a great run first time out with a new 602, started in the back, 25 cars, finished fourth, was held up, was faster than fourth, won the heat race with 604s and 602 and finished top 10.
Good deal.
Congratulations, Grayson. And that was at Lake City. That's exciting. All right. Got one for you.
Got some weird thing that just popped.
Oh, that's just like the news that whatever Microsoft wants you to do.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. I picked the lamest questions for you. Would you rather see Oprah or Arnold Schwarzenegger as the next U.S. president?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's no brainer. It'd be Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I mean, you pick. Why do you always pick lame ones for me?
I don't know. Maybe we should let's pick two more and then we just switch. So like you pick two. There we go.
I'm going to look at them and see if they're appropriate.
No.
I'm going to look at them and see if they're... Oh, wait. No, I can't look at them. That's right.
It's kind of the whole point. It's like if I just accidentally pick lame ones.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. So,
okay. You can ask me now.
All right.
I mean, we could switch if yours end up being lame.
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't actually read them. Would you rather appear as a guest on your favorite TV show or have lifetime backstage passes for any concert you attend?
I think backstage backstage
should be a no-brainer.
Yeah,
so that one was lame.
So I got your lame questions.
Okay, great. Would you rather have very fat arms with skinny legs or vice versa?
Well, I have very fat legs with skinny arms, so I would rather have
Vice versa.
You'd rather
What was
have. You would rather have.
I'd rather have big old Popeye arms
Okay.
and skinny legs.
All right.
Because I got the opposite going on right now.
Okay.
I've always had thick thighs and then small calves. So my legs are like triangles.
Wow. That's really fun. All right. And Jeremy says, are any of y'all going up to watch racing at North Wilkesboro? Tomorrow is opening night. I really hadn't planned on it. I actually kind of forgot about it, to be honest. I'll probably be up there at some point. I just don't know for which one. I think when my brother gets back, we might go up there and, maybe talk to some people and do some promotion for the trade show. So it's been talked about, but then, just got busy and was on vacation.
I'm working, trying to get shit out the door, and plus, like, tomorrow night's trivia night. So
yeah, well, we wouldn't be there, but it is literally every single weekend for the next 4 weeks, and then another 4 weeks.
Okay.
All right, what you got?
Oh, your question thing?
Yep.
Put ketchup or ranch dressing on everything you eat.
Well, I live in the
Would you
South.
rather?
We already put ranch dressing on everything.
Right.
Yeah, so that works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. See, I told you got
There we go. Oh, would you rather be able to erase people's memory or predict their future?
If I say erase memory, it sounds kind of rapey. So I'm going to say predict future.
Okay, so we know what you really want to say. No, it reminds me what's that Jim Carrey movie which was fantastic, where he and his girlfriend both, they get their memories erased, and it's like the chick from Titanic, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. If anybody remembers that, go ahead and drop it into the comments. And here's a question. Willie says, ask Steve, what's he done with the rest of that chicken? With your skinny calves. You're like a chicken boy.
Yep. Nice fat calves.
Yeah, no, it's a really good. It's that movie I'm talking about with Jim Carrey is like really, really good. Just can't remember. Mike says Men in Black, but that's not the one. So that I'm thinking of. Anyway, it's kind of cool. And it's actually a rom-com.
Oh.
So that should be right up your alley.
I don't know where you get this thing where I like rom-coms.
Because you always want like comedies, and they always have a boy meets girl situation in every single one of these.
Some of them are really, really damn funny.
I agree.
Like Wedding Crashers.
It's hilarious.
Yes.
Yes,
It's
it
not
is.
a rom-com.
It's in that same genre.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
I don't think you know what a rom-com is.
Oh, okay.
You're talking like Sleepless in Seattle or some bullshit like that.
No, that I wouldn't even call that. Yeah, I mean, that's its own thing. Whatever. All right. Jeremy's got actually a would you rather for us. Would you rather eat authentic Italian or authentic Mexican?
Mexican all day long.
Italian all day long. Yeah.
Yeah, Mexican.
What,
I mean, I grew up on Mexican food.
yeah, and you do like you eat Mexican like what, 3, 4
It's
times a
my
week?
favorite food.
Yeah.
Bar none.
It is not my favorite food. But I mean, I like Mexican. I do, but not every day.
You say you fucking racist.
I was talking about food.
Oh, okay.
Food. I don't know. I mean, is that food racist now too?
No, it could be. I mean, everything else in the world's racist now.
Oh
So
my
I mean,
gosh.
food might as well be.
Yeah. And actually, Jeremy agrees with you. He likes Mexican food too.
Oh, I see Michael Catelli there.
Yeah, he's the one who said,
Yeah. Okay.
Mike's put it up on the screen.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Okay. And,
What's up,
and
Mikey?
now my awesome, amazing, my big news of the week is Tori is back. Tori's back in the house after being on vacation. I mean, I'm glad she went on vacation and got that chance to go to the beach and everything, but dang, I'm glad to have her back
Are you?
because she's amazing. Yes. And Mike says hi to you, Steve. And then Dave has a question. He says he's still getting hot, 240 at lap 16. Brand new radiator, dash 16 hose, no restrictor, 19-inch Jones blade, 34 degrees timing, stealth carburetor, E85, 1.325 carb.
Mhm.
I don't know what else to do. Got the Juke 50 lapper this week, and I'll
Yep.
never make it.
Well, I mean, couple things. Yeah, couple things right offhand. Number one, so we're talking at Pittsburgh, so that's just, balls to the wall, flat out the whole damn time. In order to get air to cool the engine, in other words, to flow through the radiator, dirt late models have a big problem right now to where you've got a big low pressure area in front of the radiator. In other words, the nose is sealed off the ground. If that nose is sealed off the ground, which aerodynamically is what you want, but with that nose sealed off the ground like that, you have like a big low pressure area in front of the radiator. So if the fan has nothing to suck through it, in other words, there's just dead air in front of the radiator.
Yeah.
It can't suck anything. So you have to do something to relieve that. In other words, you have to open something up. So you have to either cut like a 6-inch, about a 6-inch slot in the valance to get at least a little bit of air under there, or you see a lot of guys will put holes. You saw it a lot with Lucas cars out in the Midwest when they were running in those 110 degree days and shit like that. We'll like drill holes in the left side of the nose piece. Okay. Which will relieve that low pressure area where you can actually get air in there for the motor to suck, air through the radiator.
No, that's a great tip and then you can always cover them up with tape later
obviously
on.
Make sure you have a good shroud. I mean, that's priority one is a good shroud.
And actually, Mike is asking that question. Hey, Dave, do you have a fan shroud? Fan shroud's very important.
Yeah, extremely important. So make sure you've got a good tight shroud.
Great.
Other than that, you're going to have to open something up to get some air under there.
Mark has a great question here. He says, when entering a turn and you tap the brakes, how bad does Joe Biden suck? When we analyze this situation on a scale to 1 to 10, I'm going to go with an 11.
Yes.
I'm going to go with 11.
Yeah.
11's my final answer.
At this point, it's completely embarrassing.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know. We could kind of argue a little bit because there's a bunch of stupidity. I mean, I swear to God, we've got the whole world is run by a bunch of 8th graders.
Oh, I mean, both sides of the aisle have stupidity. I mean, look
my
at
God,
the dumbass son of a bitch and Republicans in the House that voted for the gun control bullshit.
Well, and look at the Republicans that voted against the veterans getting benefits for being in burn pits,
right,
or being damaged by the burn pits, because they're saying it's like this accounting thing.
Well,
they're throwing a fit because the CHIP Act got through and Manchin came up with something, and they're just a bunch of babies. They're riding with Xi Jinping and like being all butthurt that we might recognize Taiwan. If who knows if Pelosi will go there or not. They're all freaking 8th graders. I mean, can we not grow up a little bit, please, and not stop getting butthurt over everything? Yeah. It's here's an interesting point here is that Jeremy says Biden sucks more than Hoover.
Yeah.
And Hoover being a vacuum cleaner. I mean, that's got to be pretty bad.
Hoover is who he's talking about, but
I know that there's like a double, like kind of like a double meaning that's going on there too. Yes, yeah. I'm not a total idiot when it comes to that. All right. Gary says, I have had overheating issues all summer. Changed my 28-inch radiator to 31-inch. What is the best thing to run for an additive? We are not allowed to run antifreeze. Steve's got your answer.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy the water wetter stuff, which is fine. I mean, that works good. Or we've talked, I think, the last 2 weeks about this is distilled water with a cap full of liquid Dawn dish soap, and that acts as a water wetter as well, and it'll save you a bunch of money by not buying all the expensive water wetter.
Yeah, that's. Really, I mean, what a great budget
from Howard Stewart's mouth. So,
yep. All right, Jeremy says drain the swamp.
I mean, the Howard Stewart, not the company, because he sold the company. So,
yeah. And Don has a question. He's asking, what about the tire situation?
Tire situation out here is half-ass okay. I mean, now price has just gone stupid. I mean, last year, I think like a tire like my kid runs on his late model was what, 165, 170. This year they're like 225, 235.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's ridiculous. I think there's a lot of people probably not racing because tires are a bit hard to come by.
Yeah.
So
Hard to come by and very expensive.
Yep.
Really got to pick your battles, honestly. Instead of just
correct.
racing all the
No,
time.
I mean, for the most part, I know Crate Racing USA is running races all the time. They're still running their touring stuff. Russia's still running their touring stuff. The best of my knowledge, there doesn't seem to be issues with tires in either one of those two series when it comes to crate racing.
Yeah, I think a lot of that.
There's a couple others
eased up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And Mark has a question. He says, "Do double pass radiators help these overheating problems in hot weather areas?"
Double passes do, in the sense, excuse me, and it does keep water in the radiator longer. But what you have to remember is, anytime that you're slowing down the water in the radiator, you need to still move volume. So you have to, in other words, like if you're running a single pass with 30% reduction or 35% reduction, putting a double pass in there, you actually need to reduce the reduction of the pulleys in order to move the water through the system a little bit faster. Because there's two different ways of thinking about it. Move water through the system at a reasonable speed, or slow it way down, or move it through at a high speed. There's a lot of different ways of looking at this shit. But
it's all about balance.
Yeah. Normally on double pass radiators, we'd run as 10% under.
Mm-hmm. Great. And Shane has a comment here. Fuel went stupid, as well as a drum of VP RX96 was $485 last year. And last week I bought a drum of the same fuel for $735.
Correct.
Yep.
Which is another reason why most people are going to E85, which,
yeah,
I've been a proponent of E85 for years. Stuff really doesn't cost that much.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, it's also gone up. So everything is going up.
Oh, of course, everything has.
It's biting inflation.
Yeah. 2022.
Yep.
What you mean, the Putin price hike?
The Putin price hike.
I don't know. He did.
Good God.
Does that mean that it's also is it Putin that lowered our gas prices for 40 cents then? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend.
I saw a Babylon Bee thing today.
Oh, they've had some really good ones.
It was it's a picture of Putin with like a Medal of Freedom. It's like Putin gives himself Medal of Freedom for lowering gas prices.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Just idiocy. And Jeremy actually says about the E85 jumped up almost $45 a drum in the last 2 months.
Yeah, correct.
I don't know. I'm really hoping we get on the other side of this pretty quickly here.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, but we'll see.
No.
And, I've also heard that, engines are going to be going up again too. So.
Oh, yeah.
Great engines,
Yeah, well, yeah, I figured that. That's what you're talking about. We don't need them to go up anymore. Otherwise, we're going to having to look for alternatives and move into that. That's going to suck. I guess.
Everything keeps going up.
Michael has a question. He says, "What are your thoughts on the intake coolant lines that run from the back of the intake to the water outlet?"
They're an absolute must, in my opinion. So what that does is...
In a 604.
In a 604, yeah, correct. 602, you don't have the option to be able to do that, which is unfortunate. But yeah, on a 604, no, you have to do that. You need to run it to the water outlet and run those lines. I run -8s. So that would be the bare minimum size that I would run. It'd be -8. But what that does is it pulls that hot water out of the back cylinders.
Gotcha.
So, in other words, it doesn't have to run all the way through the engine.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
You got that hot, stagnant water at the back of the motor. So it draws that out and gets it out back into the radiator.
Oh, that's really cool. The funny thing is we have intake manifold waterline kits where we put together those whole things because, you were doing that.
Yeah, we're doing it for years.
And that's, yeah. So I bought all the stuff and now I knew that they were moving water, but you'd never explained it to me about the moving the hot stagnant water from one side.
Right.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. So yes, we do have intake manifold waterline kits at CrateInsider.com, and we have them with a -16 or -20 water outlet.
So like years ago when we were doing a lot of super late model stuff, we were actually reverse cooling motors. So in other words, we were putting the water into the center of the block, and then blocking off the front of like where it would go in at the front, we were putting it in the center. So it was cooling all the cylinders roughly the same.
Oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, I'm sure they're still doing that.
Probably, yeah. All right, let's take one more question and kind of wrap.
You got like a class or something you need to do?
I do, yeah. So we'll take one more question, then we'll wrap things up. I see Jody says, what mild steel headers would you recommend for a 604? I know stainless is the way to go, but track rules require stainless steel. Or require mild steel, excuse me.
Profab.
Yeah.
Mild steel, profab.
When we can get them.
Yes. I mean, like everything else, it's an issue. Second choice for me would be the BAs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and that's a pretty typical thing. I mean, just the thing with headers is they're a much more complex product in the first place, and they're also huge and they're expensive. So it's pretty easy for me to have, I don't know, 10 boxes of rivets on the shelf because they only take up
10 boxes of headers is not
10 boxes of headers. I had to buy a trailer to fit them all in.
Yeah.
So yeah. Should get out in the trailer today because I was sending some headers out the door, but they're big and they're expensive and they're complicated, all of the welding that goes into these. So I do, I generally order at Crate Insider, no matter what they're doing for the crates. So whether it's the 602s or 604s, mild steel or stainless, they do them in batches, and I pretty much like either take the rest of what they have in pre-sold or I take a half of what they make. Like, what do you got? Okay, I'll take this many of them or whatever.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So it's good. So any last words before we wrap things up, Steve?
No, I really don't. No, not a whole lot. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing I was going to say are to go ahead and make sure that you enter our giveaway. I mean, that's just $400 in free race car parts. That's pretty darn cool, and a t-shirt and hat and all that good stuff. And
you're not limited to what you can buy. So I mean, anything on your store.
Exactly. That's why we're struggling so hard today. Like, what do we do? And then, just weren't sure. So the easy way is kind of like when you don't know what to get somebody for their birthday, you just get them a gift card. This is a gift card for race car parts. All right. Well, thanks you guys for being here. Thank you so much for being part of the show. If you want to listen to the podcast version, you can hear us over on iTunes. We post the next day on iTunes or Google Play, Spotify, anywhere where you listen to podcasts. If you want to, anytime you want to join us live, we go live Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Crate Insider Facebook and YouTube pages. And thanks so much for being here. We'll see you guys next week.
And we could do it randomly just every now and again too.
Yeah, we could add those. We could add those too. Never could.
Now that I'm living next door, we might.
Yeah, that could happen. We talk about that next week and see how the first week goes.
Right.
All right. See you guys later. Bye.